I want to say a word, since I do spend a lot of time on the euro crisis, that if you think that it's that excessive government, whatever, that Greece is somehow proving your ideological point, what about Ireland? Ireland has famously low tax rates, especially for corporations, 0 in the case of Apple, and was widely, conservatives all around hailed it as a role model, a shining model, said George Osborne before he became Chancellor of the Exchequer. And Ireland is rather a mess also, They are not quite as bad as Greece, but that's, not a slogan you want to run on. Not quite as bad as Greece. So that's not what it's about. Yeah. Quite. What we're talking about, and God knows, with a former Speaker of the House here, I, of all people, shouldn't have to be saying politics is the art of the possible. Policy is the art of the possible. We are not going to talk, we're not going to turn the United States into Cuba. We're not going to level. What we might do, hopefully what we could do, is something like, well, what President Obama has suggested in his last several budgets, which was closing more of the loopholes that the rich take advantage of, raising more revenue, possibly pushing higher top marginal rates higher. I'd certainly like to end, what I take from Art Laffer is that the two great sins of recent history are the 2003 Bush tax cuts, which gave special treatment to dividend income, and that cut in the capital gains tax rate in the 90s that was under somebody's leadership in the House. I can't quite remember who. I want to raise a few extra points of income from the top 1% and use that money for important things. That's what we want to do. I don't think that's going to solve all of our problems. I think it's a start towards reducing the excessive power of the elite. I mean, the fact of the matter is that in the past, when we had more progressive taxation, when we came out of the 1930s with a much more progressive tax system than we had before, we also came out with a society that wasn't quite as plutocratic as it had been before. And that I'd like to do. And I will say one thing, I am not worried about us sliding back into the Gilded Age. We have slid back already. That's already happened. And what we want to do now is claw our way back towards the kind of middle-class society we used to be.